It's 9 o'clock. Welcome into Mav Day, brought to you by Colorado Craft Coffee and Beer House. Yes, I fell-skied myself. Go ahead, laugh over there, funny man. Laugh.
Nothing makes my head turn faster than just only slightly hearing you talk. I'm like, uh-oh.
Some people just laugh when they hear me talk, and it's not because it's really funny. I don't. As long as Don Van Natta Jr. doesn't listen and compares my voice to Tom Brady.
Yeah, no kidding. Who's he to speak?
Fingernails on a chalkboard. Yeah, he's a writer. Anyway, it's Mav Day. We talk with Colorado Mesa coaches and athletes. Brought to you by Colorado Craft Coffee and Beer House, 1144 North 12th and Glenwood, across from Colorado Mesa. They feature only Colorado's best coffee and beer. They're open Monday through Thursday, 7:30 to 8. Friday and Saturday, 7:30 to 9. Sunday, 8 until noon. Perfect place before you're going to go watch the Mavericks play. Maybe coming up Saturday before the Chadron State game, or before a volleyball match, or soccer. And also a perfect place to grab, like I said, a drink, one of those great ciders or beers that they have, one of the great coffees. All the products that James and Amanda sell are from Colorado. Proud to represent the Centennial State. 16-ounce coffees and 16-ounce beers, and no charge for coffee add-ons. And tonight they have Beer Bingo, starts at 6:30. Every Friday night, it's their trivia night that starts at 6:30. So if you haven't checked it out, very chill, cool place, and James knows his products really well. He'll have the right beer, cider, or coffee for you to try over at Colorado Craft Coffee and Beer House, 1144 North 12th in Glenwood, across from CMU. All right, so coming up, we'll talk with Cole Byer, CMU golfer, and also we'll talk with the head coach of the Maverick football team, Miles Kochaver. Mavericks losing a tough game over in Pueblo this last weekend. They'll have Chadron State this weekend. We'll talk with Coach K coming up later on. But time right now to dive into some CMU triathlon with Shannon Farron.
Talking Colorado Mesa sports on Mav Day on the Jim Davis Show.
All right, joining us right now from the CMU triathlon team, Shannon Farron, who is the program's only three-time All-American. Shannon, appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Always appreciate talking with you about the program. And as far as this season has gone, of course, you had the Desert Duel here in town recently. Now you're going to be heading down to Texas, and we'll talk more about that. But kind of take us back to the Desert Duel, which is not a competition with other teams. It's really competing against your teammates, just the Mavericks competing against each other. But it affords an opportunity for folks to come out and see what the triathlon team's all about.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite races. It's a great practice for our team. I unfortunately wasn't there this year, which made me pretty sad because I really enjoyed that race. But yeah, it was a great warm-up for the team, and great to see where the team's at leading into these bigger races.
Kind of take us through your season. You mentioned you weren't the Desert Duel, but how has this season, this fall, progressed for you?
Well, I've only done one race so far in South Dakota. It was a little shorter than what we usually race, so a little bit different, but it was a good warm-up. This will be my first, I guess, big race of the season down in Texas at Texas Christian University. This will be against some pretty big Division I schools and maybe like 2 Division II schools. So, yeah, it'll be some tough competition, and it'll really be a good warm-up for regionals and nationals coming up here pretty soon.
Shannon Farron with the CMU triathlon team with us. Battle in the Fort Colgate Cup. As you mentioned, it's in Fort Worth, Texas, Texas Christian University. And so this is going to be, like I said, a really big event in terms of, challenging you, some of the better collegiate competitors in the country. Who are some of the triathletes that you know and you're going to be facing off against when you do this event down in Fort Worth, Texas? So give us some of the names you're going to be seeing in that one.
Let's see. A lot from ASU. Like, I know a girl. Her name's Naomi Ruff, Faith Dasso, Camille Buchanan. Those are some top girls at ASU. There's a girl from TCU, Kira Gupta-Baltazar, who is a national champion a few years back. So trying to stay up with those girls, because that's who I want to stay up with in nationals. I want to be up racing with those top girls. So I need to really push myself to be up there and have a good race.
John with Shannon Farren, three-time CMU All-American, the program's only three-time All-American triathlete with us on the program today. And I know we probably talked about this before, but you didn't start out as a triathlete. You started out at CMU on the swim team. You were a freshman in 2019, 2020. And kind of take us back to when you made the decision to go to being a triathlete, because you were an outstanding high school track and field competitor along with a swimmer. So it almost seemed like it was destined, right, for you to get into being a triathlete.
Yeah, when I was growing up, people always told me I had the athletic ability to be a triathlete, and I was just so committed to swimming, I never really thought about actually doing it until I got injured after my first season as a Maverick on the swim team. And we happened to have a triathlon team, and the coach was willing to give me a chance, and it's been a great opportunity. I'm really thankful for it, and it turns out I'm a better triathlete than I was a swimmer, so it worked out pretty well.
So, yes, as I mentioned, when you were at Legacy High School, competed at the state track and field championships. You were a swimmer. You were on a club swim team. So I imagine cycling was probably the part that you had to get the most comfortable with. How was that progression in terms of getting used to being a cyclist when you're a triathlete?
Yeah, it was definitely pretty rough. I came into it thinking wow, I'm going to be such a great triathlete, but we did an inter squad with just our team many years back, and I got whooped by my teammates in the bike, and I was like, geez, I got some work to do. So the next few years, I worked pretty hard and just tried to spend as much time as I could on the bike. So just time on the bike and just working really hard. I think I've gotten to the level of most triathletes, and continue to get better at it.
Of course, you know about the CMU cycling team, national champions, a lot of really talented cyclists there, and a lot of knowledge from Eric Rostel in that program. Have you been able to tap into that, some of those folks, to give you some advice about improving your performance on the bicycle?
My boyfriend he was a member of the CMU cycling team, so I've learned quite a bit from him about, he primarily does mountain bike, but he knows some about road cycling, so I've learned a lot from him and his friends from that team.
We're talking with Shannon Farren of the CMU triathlon team. They'll be competing at TCU coming up this weekend. And for you, Shannon, just looking at some of the things on your bio, says you enjoy running. You actually do just enjoy running just to run. It seems a little, pardon me, Buckeye, you can jump in here. Seems a little crazy. You just like to run just for the fun of it, considering it's kind of it's a big part of what you do most of the time as a triathlete.
Yeah, it's pretty enjoyable. Once you build that fitness initially with running, you get like a runner's high, and you can go pretty far. I like to go on some longer runs on my own and get on the trails and do some fun trail runs. So, yeah, you grow a love for it eventually. Okay.
I'll take your word for that. Also says you love photography, so I imagine you take maybe a camera along on some of those trail runs, stop and snap a picture of something you see?
Yeah, I definitely love taking photos, and I really love social media, so I like to document my journey as a triathlete on there, and make sure I get lots of pictures of what I'm out doing on the trails and so forth.
Shannon Farren with us, three-time All-America triathlete for the CMU triathlon team. So a couple things I'm going to ask you here. You're obviously in season. You're getting ready for the event down at Fort Worth. Your training, nutrition's a big part of it. But when you have a chance to have a cheat meal, what's a really good cheat meal for you?
Oh, I would say definitely a big burger with fries and a milkshake would be my go-to.
Go-to burger place. Is there one for you?
I really like Blue Moon downtown. Okay. And what's it called? The place by, what is it? I forget. But there's another burger place in town, kind of towards Lodge Loop. Okay.
Oh, is that Handlebar?
Yes, okay. Handlebar, yes. Okay. Love Handlebar.
All right, very good. They have an outstanding burger, likewise for Blue Moon. All right, so when you're out running, whether it's just your training or just doing it for the fun of it, what's typically on your playlist? Rock, pop, or country?
I really like I would say rap music.
Okay, you like rap? Okay, what kind of pop, urban, hip hop? We'll have it all fit in. So any artists you like right now, or artists that you like?
My favorite artist is probably Suicide Boys.
Okay. What's
Like a darker rap.
okay?
It's a little intense. Maybe not for everyone.
Buckeye, you're the resident rap
No
hip hop
idea.
guy. You have, okay,
Nope.
you're drawing a blank on this. Okay, so
No.
Shannon's throwing one at you. You have no idea what you're
My
talking.
resident rap hip hop is like, Cannibal Corpse. That's as close as I get to rap.
Okay, very good.
They rhyme. That's about as close as they get.
All right, hey Shannon, I appreciate the time. Good luck down at TCU coming up this weekend for you and the Mavericks. We appreciate the time today.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right, take care. Shannon Farron, 3-time All-American for the CMU triathlon team.
Yeah, not a rap.
I thought maybe you might have a
No,
little.
I have no
you know,
idea. Like
Like a little
early
knowledge.
2000s, maybe, but
Yeah.
maybe late 90s, not at all.
Yeah.
And running for enjoyment.
I know when I saw that, I was like, it likes to run and
Yeah.
photography. I'm going, no offense to those who like to run for fun, but
It's just not my thing.
that's
The only thing waiting for me
Yeah.
after a long run's not a runner's high, it's a coffin.
yeah.
A long run is very subjective.
Yeah, I did track in high school, but it was never that I just loved. Sorry, Uncle Phil Wortman, my old track coach. It wasn't because I just loved track.
Yeah.
It was kind of like being in shape for football, basketball, that kind of thing. I just, as far as just loving to run for the pure enjoyment of it, never happened.
I had
If
to
you run the quarter, do the 800, and it will suck if you love running, to me, that will suck the enjoyment out of it for you.
I had to do a light jog across the street yesterday morning on my walk because there was a car coming a little bit faster than I initially anticipated. And I thought I was going to die when I got across the street. 6 lanes. I was like, you know what? I could make... Nope. Just please don't hit me. If I fall over here, go around me. So, yeah.
Correct.
Like, if I fall here, still open. You hit me, it's closed.
Well, I'm glad that you
Yeah. I made it all the way across, though.
were able to get across the street so you could get here.
Yep. But I used the crosswalk this morning. I'm like, nope. Not doing
How
that again.
unkind was that? My first thing is that, gosh, I want you to be okay, buddy. I just wanted to make sure you were here.
Yep. No, that's totally. I understand. I get it.
Then the other thing's right after that, okay?
Yeah.
It's right after that.
down the list, but it's
Yeah.
on the list.
Yeah. All right, 9:13. Jim along with the Buckeye boy. Coming up, Cole Byer, CMU golfer, will join us also. The head coach of the Maverick football team, Miles Kochaver.
I do think about that, too, occasionally. It's how hurt is hurt enough to miss work today? Like, if I skin my knee, I'm probably going to have to answer the bell, right?
Yeah, you're going to have
If
to.
I get hit by a
Put a little
car,
back
I can
teen on
probably
and
get
a-
that day off.
If you get hit by a car, yeah, you're probably you're good. Yeah, you're probably. I'm not going to expect you to be here if you get hit by a car.
So, it's a judgment call. Really.
Have you ever been hit by a car?
Well, I mean, technically, no.
I mean, like just walking, not like ran into by.
I have
like
on
an
my
auto
bicycle
accident.
been hit by a parked car a couple times.
You mean you rode into the car?
That's not how I prefer to tell the story, but yes.
Well, the car was parked. You were the moving object. You ran into it. That's
That
how
jerk
that.
hit me.
You realize that's how that
Yeah.
works, right?
No,
That's
that jerk hit me.
well, good thing it wasn't the CSU running back that
Yeah, no kidding.
would have jumped out of his car and beat the snot out of
He
you.
would have hit me and then turned my face in there.
I've never been hit by a car. I have fallen out of a moving car, though.
I've jumped out of the back of a moving pickup before.
Like, how fast was it moving?
Like 10, 15.
Yeah.
Not very fast, but you can imagine how it went with my athleticism.
Mine was, I think it was maybe 15 miles an hour, maybe somewhere at 20. Mm-hmm. When I was a kid, and I was out in Fruita with my late brother Bob, my big brother Bob, and I think we just got ice cream someplace. And he took me out there, I don't know if it was to go see the doctor or what. My mom was at work.
Mm-hmm.
And he had his old 46 Chevy pickup truck. We didn't know seatbelts.
Yeah.
Seatbelts.
Seatbelts.
What were those for?
Somebody's forearm.
And part of this was my fault because, and I was, I think, 8 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't shut my door tight enough in the truck. And so I'm leaning on the door, eating my ice cream.
So you went for a ride.
And I fell out. I hit because it had running boards on it. Hit the running board, rolled onto the street. I heard Bob go, "Oh no!" And I'm like rolling like junior stuntman.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm rolling on the ground and cut my arms up really bad and everything. And Bob comes over, pulls over and stops. And I'm like, my ice cream. I've cried more about my ice cream because I lost my ice cream than about actually falling out of the truck. And then I realized, oh, wow, I really cut myself up here and this really hurts. And then I started crying about that.
I was 12, I think 12 or 13. And one of our neighbors from down the street was like, hey, I'll give you a ride. I was coming home from my friend's house. And he's like, I'm in a hurry, so I'll just slow down. You jump out of the back. I'm like, all right, Roger, I got this. So he slows down, and I go over the side of the pickup truck like I've seen in so many movies and TV shows, and not realizing the fact that I don't have any athleticism or ability to, pull off that kind of maneuver. So my feet land perfectly, both of them. Body carries me forward down the driveway about halfway. Rolled over like you did. Cuts and scrapes on my elbows and knees and my face. I popped a lens out of my glasses.
Oh, not good.
My mom, in her concern, my dear departed mother, walks slowly up the driveway. Gets about 10 feet and looks at me, and I'm cleaning this up for radio because this was the 90s when you could say other stuff. Are you stupid? No, I'm fine. Thank you.
Oh. Well,
she wouldn't even clean me up. She's like, I'm not taking you to the hospital to explain this, so you're going to have to go clean yourself up.
Well, it's like my deal. I mean, eventually, after my brother made sure I didn't die, he's like, well, that was stupid. I go, I don't think I shut the door tight. He was like, well, that's on you, dummy.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Apparently,
and there was no trip to the hospital. It was go home.
Or no concussion.
Put some back teat on it. Yeah, I mean, I know.
Hydrogen peroxide. Here you go, son.
I think we had some of the pricey Bactine back then, along with the peroxide.
Yeah, she's like, she said literally, I'm not going to have to explain to a nurse what you did. I'm like, oh, thanks.
Thanks,
I'm
Mom.
fine. Thanks.
Love you too, Mom.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That's when you know you did stupid stuff.
Oh, all right. Quick note here on Mav Day. Colorado Mesa Women's Golf, they had their second tournament of this fall. They were at the Westminster Wasatch Invitational at the Glenmore Golf Club and wrapped up on Monday. They finished 7th, 2-round total of 623, and Biola won the team title, and Peyton Panzeri led the Mavericks with a 13th place finish, a 10 over 154. So Mavericks finishing 7th in that Utah tournament. On the women's side, we're going to talk some men's golf coming up next with Maverick golfer Cole Byer. It is Mav Day, brought to you by Colorado Craft Coffee and Beer, serving Colorado products exclusively. All their ciders, their beers, all their coffees and teas, the craft sodas, everything they sell at Colorado Craft is from right here in Colorado. 1144 North 12th in Glenwood. Cool thing, too, is you can bring your own food in there and enjoy Bravo's Pizza, one of our advertisers, fellow advertisers, along with Colorado Craft. They're just down the street from Colorado Craft. You can enjoy a slice, their monster slice for $6, by the way. It's a fantastic deal. And you can take it in there and enjoy a great beer, cider, or coffee or tea or whatever at Colorado Craft Coffee and Beer. No charge for coffee add-ons. And stop by and see them right now. 1144 North 12th in Glenwood, across from Houston Hall on the CMU campus. All right, 9:19. We'll take a break and come back. Actually, you need to do herd trivia very quickly. Let's do that before we take a break. And you can win a coffee or beer, one a week for a month from Colorado Craft Coffee and Beer. And here's the question today. We thought we'd go with the CMU men's diving team. Who is the only CMU men's diver that's been named Division II Diver of the Year 3 times? Amir Hassan, Isaiah Cheeks, Ryan Popp. Who is the only CMU men's diver that's been named the D2 Diver of the Year 3 times in his career? Amir Hassan, Isaiah Cheeks, Ryan Pop. Send your answer in right now to win one coffee or beer, one a week for a month from Colorado Craft Coffee and Beer. So send your answer in right now on the team line. You can win only once every 2 weeks. If you won earlier today, you also can't play. All right, send your answer in. Text only 970-242-1340.
Who do I listen to?
The Jim Davis Show on Colorado's sports leader.
Whoever suggested that has got to be smoking crack, and plenty of it.
The team. Talking Colorado Mesa sports on Mav Day on the Jim Davis Show.
All right, Mav Day rolls on with us right now. He's from Woodburn, Oregon, senior on the Colorado Mesa men's golf team. Two-time second-team All-RMAC selection. Cole Byer joins us. Cole, appreciate the time. How are you?
Good morning. Thanks for having me. I'm good.
Been a little bit of time since you and the Mavericks have been on the golf course. You had that second-place finish recently on that tournament that wrapped up over at Lakewood on September 10th, and you were able to help guide your team to a pretty good finish in that. Runner-up finish in the 7-team field that included 5 RMAC squads and 6 from the region. But you took second at that tournament, actually took fifth, in the individual standings, shot a 77 in that final round. Kind of take us through that round over in Lakewood. We're able to get that fifth place finish and help the Mavs have a strong finish.
Yeah, I've shot 60, 67 in the first round, 69 in the second round. Put myself in a good position to try and win the tournament. Last day didn't play as well, but still hung in there and helped my team get that second place finish. And we beat some good teams, and we beat some good RMAC rival schools. So that was good to beat some of those teams.
As far as where your game's at right now, what are some things you feel like have really been clicking for you? Maybe some things, maybe it's short game or off the tee or whatever. Maybe some things you need to work on as well as you get ready for, of course, heading out to DuPont, Washington to play in the Bishop Invitational. What are some things you feel like have been working for you on the course and some things you're trying to work on right now, fine-tune?
My game's been solid. I've been giving myself lots of opportunities for birdie, and I've just kept the ball in play and hit a lot of fairways, hit a lot of greens. That's been good. Some struggle is just consistency. That's the name of the game in golf. Just trying to find consistent golf that I can go to under pressure. Yeah.
As far as somebody you lean on, maybe it's a teammate, maybe it's Coach Scott Sullivan, maybe it's a group of people. It's sometimes it takes a village when you're trying to fine tune your game. Who are some of the people that you go to, Cole, when maybe, hey, this isn't, I'm not clicking, my putting's off a little bit, or whatever the case may be? Who are some of those sounding boards for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my coach, he's always, able to look at swings or able to offer some insight, because he's been around the game for a long time. But also, just bouncing ideas off of teammates is just so important. A lot of us have swing coaches back home, but it's hard to contact them when you're here. So, just being able to bounce ideas off of each other and get videos from each other and, hey, come look at this. That's how we're able to kind of fine tune our own stuff and maybe see something that with a different set of eyes that maybe you can't see.
Cole Byer with the CMU men's golf team with us. You mentioned some guys have swing coaches. Do you, and how does that swing coach play a role in what you're trying to do now in your senior year?
Some of us have swing coaches. I personally don't. I've kind of always been self-taught. So I'm more of a field player. But other guys, it's comfortable for them to have someone else that knows their golf swing and knows kind of their tendencies. But I've always been self-taught, so it's I have a lot of faith in my own eyes and my teammates.
Cole Byer with us from the CMU men's golf team. There's a golfer, Cole, that maybe one that you emulate and you've always been a fan of, maybe one that you actually think you kind of play like, your style of play is similar. Who are those guys for you? Are they the same guy?
There's so many guys on tour, and some guys are playing well and some guys are playing not so well, but like just any of them. Like some of the guys I like to watch a lot are like Ludwig Aberg, the guy who just graduated from Texas Tech. He's a young guy. He's doing well out on tour. Guys like Scotty Scheffler obviously are really good to look up to. Xander Schauffele. Those guys have such solid game and such solid mental game. It's really good to look up to them.
Cole Byer, the CMU men's golf team, joining us on the program today. Now, Cole, as I mentioned, you guys are getting ready to head back to Pacific Northwest, DuPont, Washington, for the St. Martin's University tournament, the Bishop Invitational. Kind of take us through the course up there. Is that you're from Oregon, Pacific Northwest, somewhat familiar with this course that you're going to be playing on, or you know guys that have played it and you can kind of tap into them for some information?
Yeah, we're playing back-to-back tournaments in DuPont, Washington, and then in Bellingham, Washington. I played the home course, which is in DuPont, when I was in high school. So hopefully I can be kind of the hometown guy and help my team, play the course as best we can. But it's no matter what course you're playing, it's all about just hitting good golf shots and putting the ball in the hole.
Cole Byer with us today from the CMU golf team, and we've referenced this before, that there's the trip for the Dennis Rose Intercollegiate out at Hawaii Hilo coming up on October 21st. You put yourself in a good position to be one of the guys, and also the women's team's going to go out there too. That I think it's 5 male golfers, 5 female golfers, I believe, that are going to Hawaii for that trip. You've got yourself in a good spot for that, Cole, but you want to keep yourself there, right, with a good weekend up in Washington State.
Absolutely, and what a privilege our coach has given us, putting this on the schedule to go to Hawaii. Not a lot of players get this privilege, so I'm just very, very grateful, and just continue to stay patient and play good golf to make sure I'm there.
Cole Byer, the CMU men's golf team, joining us on the program today as the Mavericks get ready to head up to Washington State. Now, Cole, as far as your background, should mention that in 2021 you were the 4A Oregon State champion at Woodburn High School. And so I'll ask you first, state golf champion at your high school. What do you hold that distinction, or were there some other great golfers from Woodburn High School?
Honestly, there haven't been very many golfers coming out of Woodburn other than my brother and I. So it is kind of unique to be a golfer from Woodburn. Not really the stereotypical golfing community, but I'm just so proud to represent Woodburn and in the small town atmosphere.
So what's the school known for? If it's not known for golf, what is it known for sports-wise?
Mostly soccer. We have a very high Latino population, and those guys have played soccer their whole lives. So we've had a really good state championship run for men's and women's soccer.
Cole Byer with the CMU men's golf team with us. It says on your bio you enjoy golf, naturally, fishing and snowboarding. So how often do you get a chance to go do some fishing?
Actually, more than you think. Me and a few teammates, we go up to the Grand Mesa on the Gunnison. We fly fish. I think I've gone at least 3 times this semester so far. That's going to change obviously with the colder weather coming in soon. But yeah, it's just a good way for me to escape from school and golf. When it can get a little bit hectic. So it's a really good escape for me.
Do you like to do fly fishing? Do you just like to go up to the lake and just drop a line in from the banks? I mean, what's the typical type of fishing you enjoy when you get a chance to go do it?
I like all fishing, but I tend to lean towards fly fishing. I tie my own flies, and it's just I find it more fulfilling to catch fish on maybe a fly that I've tied. So that's what I enjoy the most.
And I think it's probably understandable. I mean, you're from Washington State, or from Oregon, excuse me, from the Pacific Northwest, that you have a love of the outdoors with the things you love to do, snowboarding and fishing and golf. You're majoring in environmental science. I assume that's still the case, that you're still an environmental science major?
I'm actually in geology now, which is
Okay.
honestly very, very, very similar. Very similar. I have most of my classes with environmental science people, but yeah, I've always enjoyed. My parents have, always had me and my brother outside, and always had us visiting national parks and stuff. So it's always kind of been my happy place, if you say. So I've just really enjoyed that, and being able to come to school in Grand Junction, where we have so many outdoor opportunities. It's a pretty perfect fit for me.
Absolutely. Hey, Cole, best of luck to you and the Mavericks when you go up to Washington State. I appreciate the time, and once again, good luck.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. Go Mavs.
All right, take care. Cole Byer, the CMU men's golf team, heading up to Washington State, and hopefully for Cole, it's looking good for him. He'll be making that trip out to Hawaii Hilo with 4 of his teammates, and also with 5 of the women's golf team. They'll be going out there in a few weeks. All right, 9:33. Jim along with the Buckeye Boy. Text or call us 970-242-1340. Do we have a winner for Herd Trivia yet?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the contest.
It's another winner on the Team Sports Network.
Ruben's been grinding all morning trying to get a contest win, and he finally
got
gets
one.
one. He got it. Amar Hassan, the correct answer.
All right, congratulations.
Yes, good job,
3-time
Ruben.
D2 Diver of the Year.
Indeed.
From Egypt. Man, he was incredible. He was dominant in the RMAC during that stretch. All right, congratulations, Ruben. And Ruben gets a 1 coffee or beer, 1 a week from Colorado Craft Coffee and Beer, right across from Houston Hall, across from the CMU campus. All right, 9:34. Jim along with the Buckeye Boy. Got Miles Coachaver, Maverick football coach, coming up as the Mavs have Chadron State this weekend. And it's time right now for 4 Down territory.
We're into 4 Down territory on the Jim Davis Show on the Team.
All right, we haven't talked about it yet, so I thought I'd just lead off with it. There's now a 7th member of the Pac-12.
Break him up.
Utah State will be joining the Pac-12.
Yeah.
So Utah State, according to reports, if I can get my computer to cooperate here, there we go, that they'll join Oregon State, Washington State, Boise State, San Diego State, Colorado State, and Fresno State. So now they just need 1 more school to join.
It has to be a state school now, apparently.
Apparently, it can't, it's got to be a state school.
Can't be a university of.
Pac State is what it should be.
Puyallup State or something.
The conference should just be Pac State.
Should be. Pac State. I like it.
So there's a rumor out there, though,
Rumor?
that Utah State's not a rumor. They're going.
Oh, okay.
But there's a rumor from Brett McMurphy that Gonzaga is going to join the Pac-12 as a basketball-only member. But others have refuted that story, including Gonzaga's AD. Some are saying that Gonzaga may very well end up in the Pac-12, but just hasn't happened yet. So now my question is this. They need to get 1 more. They've got to get to 8. Who's next? Because it's not sounding like any American athletic conference programs are going to leave at this point in time. Is it UNLV? There's also this big thing about, well, they can't split off from Nevada, and the state legislature wouldn't like that, and didn't stop Washington or Oregon from going and leaving behind Washington State and Oregon State. So according to Ross Dellinger, that UNLV never signed a recommitment agreement with the Mountain West, which means they could be going. And Air Force did sign the agreement, but if there's not enough teams for a conference in the Mountain West, Air Force could go.
Matter.
Adios, there's not enough teams here. We've got to find a place to go. Do you think it'll be UNLV? Makes sense.
I think it should be.
Should be.
Yeah. Do I think it will be? I don't know. I think it should be, though. Absolutely. I think they've done a pretty decent job. Do I think they're a Power 5 back again? No. But I think they've done a good job solidifying kind of their standing in that middle area.
All right, second down. I haven't had a lot of sympathy for Brett Favre in recent years
Yeah.
with sending pictures of his the land down under to people who are not his wife, to the whole fraud thing that went on in the state of Mississippi to build a volleyball arena when his daughter played at Southern Miss. Mm-hmm. Here's where I'll have some sympathy for him today. Now, if you've heard this.
Yeah, I just saw this.
He was delivering testimony on a congressional hearing on welfare reform. He revealed he's been diagnosed with Parkinson's. He's 54. And after watching my brother go through it, my heart goes out for him.
Yeah.
It is such an insidious, horrible disease. As much as I don't think he's a good guy, but he's a scumbag. I don't wish that on anybody. I don't wish that on Brett Favre. My sympathies go out to him and his family because they'll all be going through this difficult time together.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. We moved to third down, and Todd McShay was fired from the mothership, and now he's appearing with Ryan Russillo's podcast every Monday, speaking of fired ESPN people. And he was talking about Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce, 8 catches for 69 yards through the first 3 games. And apparently he feels like we're not allowed to say that he's out of shape. Are we not allowed to say he's out of shape? That he's been partying all off season? And he says every show I watch, pregame, halftime, postgame shows, every broadcast, it's like, are we not allowed to say he's out of shape? He's been jet setting with the most famous person probably in the entire world. He's drinking, going to the U.S. Open. He's got cocktails. Some sort of indictment. Like, he showed up to training camp. He's also getting old in football time, and Patrick Mahomes has some nice new weapons to play with. Has some very fancy toys.
It's not all about Travis Kelce anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there's some truth to that. I don't know.
You know what? Todd McShay's probably right a little bit, but also, who cares?
Yeah,
I mean, if it was my team, I would
who
probably
should care if that is the problem? Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid.
Yeah.
We need you to be in better shape, man. We still need you to contribute here.
Man, Travis Kelce's off-season plans and fun has really put the Chiefs behind the 8 ball.
Well, remember all the stuff about Russ when he went to Wimbledon, and but he's like, well, I'm still on the Surface tablet. I'm still looking at plays, and it's like, but he's not allowed to have a life away from football.
No, and people that are the insiders and all they do is cover football. No, they're not allowed to have fun away from football.
And my thing is this: we're 3 games into the season, and he's not in better shape.
And he's really hurt him. He really has.
They're 3-0.
3-0. He's
then,
really
okay. That's a legitimate thing to complain about. If he's not in the best shape because of extracurriculars, and we're now 3 games into the season, then it's like, okay, Travis, let's dial in here. You know, let's focus. Let's get ourselves, let's maybe, go out and run a few extra laps or whatever the case may be. Let's get ourselves in better shape here.
There's a difference between this offense has a lot of weapons and I'm double covered and I'm not getting a ton of targets versus I can't outrun pot roast the defensive lineman.
Yeah,
there's a big gulf in there.
Yeah, I don't know if it's his conditioning or if it's just his age. And like you said, Rashee Rice, lots of new toys to play with.
Before he got hurt, Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah, and so if it is about his fitness level, then okay, I can see, hey, let's go, Travis. Let's get ourselves physically and mentally locked in here. We're into the season now.
If they win a 3rd Super Bowl in a row, he can roll up looking like Eddie Murphy and Nutty Professor, and I won't care.
Doesn't matter.
And nobody will care.
No.
Except maybe.
Because he's still going to make plays at times for them.
Be interesting to see how deep that relationship goes if he starts looking like the Nutty Professor. That's neither here nor there.
All right.
4th down. Vince McMahon has a new documentary. Well, There's a new documentary about McMahon coming out tomorrow on Netflix, and it promises to
And is he happy about it?
Initially, he was, because he signed on to participate, and he did some emails, and then apparently last year tried to buy the documentary from Netflix and bury it deep below the surface, because apparently he doesn't like what's on it. Now he's put out a release that the forthcoming documentary is creating a deceptive narrative, and a lot has been misrepresented or left out entirely in an effort to leave viewers intentionally confused.
Okay.
Sounds like somebody doesn't want this documentary to come to light.
Sounds like it.
Can't imagine why.
Maybe you
There you
let them have too much access, maybe?
You know what? That's only a problem if you have skeletons to hide.
Absolutely. All right, very quickly, this day in sports history.
That's the story of the greatest sport moment in all of history.
It's time to take a trip back in time. It's This Day in Sports History.
All right, 1988, American heptathlete Jackie Joyner-Kersee sets new world record with 7,291 points to win the gold medal at the Seoul Olympics. Also in this day, 1930, the Portsmouth Spartans beat the Brooklyn Dodgers 12-0 in the first NFL game played under floodlights. More than 6,000 fans turned out for the unseasonably warm evening to watch the game at New University Stadium. And on this day, 1950, Philadelphia's Russ Kraft has 4 interceptions to lead the Eagles to a 45-7 rout of the Chicago Cardinals. Chicago quarterback Jim Hardy sets an NFL record by throwing 8 interceptions. All right, 9:44. We'll take a break and come back with more. It's the Jim Davis Show on the Team Sports Network.
I'm a big sports addict.
I like sports.
Sport. This is the Jim Davis Show on the Team. 101 FM, 1340 AM, Grand Junction. 102.1 FM, Delta Montrose. Get in the huddle with Colorado Mesa football coach Miles Kochever on the Team.
And with us right now is head coach of the Maverick football team, Miles Kochever joins us. Miles, appreciate the time as always.
Oh, you bet, guys. You bet.
Your football team goes over to Pueblo. Tough game against CSU Pueblo, number 22 team in the nation. You always expect a battle with them. You know what that's like. You were their defensive coordinator before coming back home to coach the Mavs. 38-14 to lose that game. And I think you expected Larson to come out and be a real problem throwing the football, but it was really the running game. Howard Russell had 3 touchdowns. He had the 1-yard touchdown run to give them the early lead. And then you had the block punt where Bug was able to take it back for a touchdown. I mean, you found yourselves, quickly down 14-0, and it was just tough to claw your way back into that game over at the Thunder Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. And to be able to go in and play a quality opponent in CSU Pueblo with the talent that they have, you can't spot them points. And, we wish you could go back in time, take that first 5 minutes of the game back, and but that's not how it is. And we've got to be ready to go. We've got to be able to capitalize. But, they come out the gate, pop a big run, and hats off to Russ. He does a good job. And good running back, quality guy, but we didn't tackle real well on Saturday. And he made the most of his opportunities. And, and then you follow that up with a 3-and-out and a blocked punt. They grabbed momentum really quick. So they did a good job of handling that situation, taking advantage and putting points on the board where we didn't respond. We weren't ready to go. And, you could feel it throughout, and I think the guys are embarrassed, and, well, I know they're embarrassed, and they're ready. They know that that's not the style of football we want to play. That's not the product that we want to put out on the field. So, what makes it better is that you have the opportunity to go out and practice, and, going back to a work week and our heaviest work day being a Tuesday, we just came off the field, and I saw some much improved intent and focus out there today, and them understanding how critical each thing is and taking advantage of opportunities that they have.
Mentioned that Russell had the big game, 142 yards. He had 3 touchdowns. He averaged almost 8 yards per carry. What were they doing with Russell in that run game that they caused you to have so many problems defensively?
Well, they did a good job, and they'd set up in one formation, and then they would shift in motion and get in something else. And we had some young eyes back there, and we had very poor communication. And I put that on our linebackers and challenge those guys as a win. Levi Krebs is a guy that's played a lot of football, and he needs to be able to take charge and get us on the same page. And we had too many instances where we were not on the same page, and when you do that, and just you're off one guy, and one guy's doing his own thing or didn't get the call, didn't get the check, that opens the gate for big plays, and they did a good job of seeing that, taking advantage of that. I thought they did a good job with their game plan. They came out different than what they have shown. They slowed it down. They were patient in the run game, and they kind of just base blocked that thing as it went in really slow motion. We had guys run by uncharacteristically, got upfield. And in our defense, we got to work lateral. We got to win the line of scrimmage. Laterally, we got to be putting hands off people. When you run vertically up the field, and they kind of invited us to do that, we fell into that trap. You open up those big seams, and Russell did a good job of seeing that, took advantage of us there.
Miles Coach Haver, coach of the Maverick football team with us. Leslie Richardson got hurt in that game against Central Washington. Leo Aumavai got the start at quarterback, 20 of 35, 236, a touchdown and a pick. Kind of take us through Liao, and what you saw from him in his first start as a Maverick.
You knew that he'd be ready to go. That's been one of those situations all the way through since he got here. He's been competing his butt off. So I thought he did some things well. He definitely is going to be able to use that film to be able to grow from just, being his first time having the majority of the reps in the game, gets a quality opponent. I think he only gets better. He uses that to be able to bring up the guys around him. I told him his job is to make the guys great around him. And he did that in some instances, and some others I know he wishes he would have back. There's some crucial things that, we went over that we got to be able to learn from. We kind of got it settled down there in the second quarter. We went down and we were able to put points on the board. We've got a 2-minute opportunity there towards the end of the second quarter. And we missed an easy check down pass there to Belgrade. And, that one puts you in field goal range, make it a 21-10 game going into halftime, and just kind of start to claw your way back in. We were unable to do that. And then the next play got knocked out of really field goal range there. So things like that, Liu will continue to learn from. But I thought he did a good job of operating the offense. Now we've got to do a better job around him and give him even more opportunities.
Miles Coach Haver, coach of the Maverick football team with us. It's now Chadron State. They hosted number 4 Colorado School of Mines this past weekend, 13-12. Mines gets out of there with a victory. And you got to give Jay Long's defense a lot of credit, Miles. They did a fantastic job against the number 4 team in the nation.
They did. And you're looking at Chadron right now. There's very easily could be a team that's 3-0. They're sitting the same as us right now at 1-2. But I think they are very talented defensively. Hats off to them last week. From what I've seen, they really physically took it to Mines. Had them on their heels. Had a freshman quarterback in the game that came in, and they had a good game plan for him to be able to operate, and thought they really did that well early. So, hats off to Jay and Chadron. They're playing good football right now, and it's going to be a heck of a test for us Saturday.
Dax Yardy for them led them with 7 tackles. He was also the RMAC Defensive Player of the Week, so he had a very impressive game against the Orediggers.
Yeah, he does a good job, and a very, well-versed defensive back. I think he leads their team in interceptions as well with 2. Also, I believe they're punt returner. So, you got to know where he's at, and he does a good job of leading that group. But that defensive front that they have, Jim, I think, with True in the middle, and then the returning 2 years ago, the sack leader, number 56 on the edge. Those are some experienced football players, guys that have played a lot, and they do a great job of controlling the box. So we're going to have our hands full.
I think the one thing for Jay's team that has been a problem, Wyatt Sprague at the quarterback spot, it's an offense that just hasn't really found its rhythm just yet through these first 3 games.
Yeah, that first week, I think they went through 3 quarterbacks against Kearney. They were able to hold tight and keep that thing in there with their great defense. But that's where they've been looking. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I know their number 1 guy got hurt early against Kearney. I think he will be back from the little bit that I've heard and seen. But we'll see where that's at.
So for your team, Leo, will he get the start this Saturday? Will Leslie be back? What does that look like for you right now?
We're hoping to keep getting Leslie closer and closer. We're not going to let him go until he's full and feeling 100%. So we'll keep working him. We're pushing him right now to make sure that he feels good. But right now, plan to be able to have Liu running the show and get the guys to rally around him. And I think he's doing a great job of that right now.
All right, we'll have the game this Saturday with pregame at noon with the Maverick Stampede pregame show, 1 o'clock kick from Stoker. Mavericks take on Chadron State. I'll have the game with Dean Allen. And you can also watch it on the RMAC network and also locally on what the Western Slope TV networks as well here across the Western Slope. Hey, Miles, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. We'll see you Saturday.
All right. Thanks, fellas. See you soon.
All right. Take care. All right. Miles Kochaver, coach of the Mavericks football team. And that's our show for today. And coming up next, Jim Rome. And then just a quick reminder, we'll have softball tonight. Central takes on Fruita Monument. Battle for first place in the league. Well, Palisades right in that mix as well. But right now, Fruita Monument 2-1, Central 5-0 to start out league play. Should be a good one tonight. And our own Cake, Tyler Franson, will have the game tonight. Pregame at 6:45. First pitch at 7 o'clock from the CMU softball field. All right, that's our program for today. And make sure you join us tomorrow morning. It's Wine About a Wednesday with Talon Wine. We have a Know Your Enemy, actually a couple coming up tomorrow for you as well, along with Fruita Monument football coach Cam Ross and Montrose football coach Brett Mertens. That's all tomorrow on the program. For the Buckeye Boy, I'm Jim.